Hey guys, I'm back here again for our movie review, and the movie I'm going to be reviewing is the sequel to one of my personal favorite childhood movies of all time. And I did a review for the first film a while back on my channel, but for today's review, I'm going to be talking about My Girl 2. And yeah, like I said, this is the sequel to one of my all-time favorite childhood movies, My Girl. And it actually took me years, or it was actually years later until I knew that there even was a second film. I grew up with the first one, and it wasn't until years later that I knew there was a second one. I found the VHS at a secondhand store, and I got really excited. I was like, wow, there's a sequel to My Girl. And yeah, this is an absolutely great sequel. It really compared to the original, it's a really, really good one. I've heard a lot of people say that they prefer this movie because even though the first one is a great movie, it does have sort of a sadness to it, because the first one deals with death and it deals with the passing of loved ones. In this one, it deals with life and it deals with growing up and becoming who you are. This movie takes place about 3 years after the first film, and Veda is now 13, and she's a young teenager, and she's dealing with things that young teenage girls go through, having trouble with boys at school, feeling, trying to fit in, with her school and her family. Shelley, who is again played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and Veda's father is again played by Dan Aykroyd. They both return for their roles. Shelley's actually pregnant with a baby, so Veda is also dealing with, she's about to become an older sister. I won't give away whether Shelley has a boy or a girl. I'll leave that to you if you want to check the movie out. But Veda's both excited about it, but she's also, of course, she has to sacrifice some things. Like she's going to be moving from her room to her grandmother's room, Grandmoo, who you may remember from the first film. She had passed away before the events of this film, and her parents want the baby's nursery to be close to theirs, so Veda will be moving to her, grandmother's room. So having to sacrifice her room for the baby is really putting Veda down a little bit. She's also been thinking a lot about her mother, and it's someone that she never got a chance to know when she was alive, and she doesn't know so much about her. Then she's also there's one scene in the film where she shows Shelley this box that's filled with her mother's belongings, different things like a passport, a small little baby book that's only up to about 2 pages, and just different things that her mother used to have, and Veda really wants to learn about her mother. Well, during her English class, her teacher gives them an assignment to do over their spring break, and the assignment is to write about someone that has achieved something great, and is someone that they don't know. And so Veda decides that she wants to do it on her mother, because it's somebody that she's always wanted to know about, but she's never met her. The only thing is, she really doesn't know much about her mother to know if she has achieved, anything great. She knows that she used to work in plays and she used to be an actress, but she doesn't know a whole lot else. And so Shelley thinks that it's a good idea for her to go visit her Uncle Phil, who, if you've seen the first film, you know who he is. And he actually is now living out in L.A. with his new girlfriend. And so Shelley decides, why not Veda go out there and go on a little adventure and, be with her Uncle Phil and also learn something about her mother. And it takes some time before, they can convince her dad, Harry, to go along with it, but finally, Veda gets a chance to go there. As she arrives at the airport, this young boy, who is played by Austin O'Brien, which is him right here, he comes up to her and he basically says that he's getting paid by Veda's uncle to pick her up. And so, from the airport, and so on their way there, Veda gets to see, LA, gets to see the town. There's so many amazing things that go on in that town, and when she arrives there, she meets Harry, or her Uncle Phil, not Harry, her Uncle Phil's new girlfriend, And she also finds out that the boy that picked her up, his name is Nick, and he is Uncle Phil's girlfriend's son. And he's kind of a bit of a jerk to her a little bit. He's mostly just picked her up just because, he wants to get paid to do it, and he doesn't really like her being there. But as the movie goes on, they develop a friendship. And basically the rest of the film is Veda just going out and trying to find different things about her mother. It starts off with her looking for her yearbook. And she learns that, her mother was part of the, worked in photography at the school. And so she begins tracking down, she tracked down one guy that, knew her. And she basically starts tracking down different people that her mother knew just to find out everything that she can about her. She also gets a chance to meet her favorite poet, who she ends up finding out is not the person that she expected him to be. He's kind of this old man who's really been run down on the earth, and Veda's kind of just disappointed that somebody that she looked up to, one of her favorite poets, is, just kind of this bitter old man now. But one thing about this movie that I hear a lot of people talk about is it's a lot more positive and it's a lot happier than the first film. And I really do agree. The first movie, even though it's a good movie, it deals with things like death and things like, losing your loved ones and sadness. This one is about life, and it's about going through different changes in your life and just, just doing things and becoming who you are and finding out who you are. And a lot of people say they really do enjoy this one over the first one. I grew up with the first one, so I think I'll always enjoy it over this one. But I must say, this is a great, great sequel. And I highly recommend it. If anybody who's seen the first one and has not seen this, to check out My Girl 2. It's a really great sequel. There's a lot of great moments in it. Like I said, it's a lot more positive than the first one. There's also a scene where Veda is still wearing her mood ring from the first film, and Nick, sort of talks to her a bit about it, and she talks about how it, it's a reminder of Thomas J, before he died at the end of the first film, and so there's a reference to that, And as the movie goes on, Nick's character, he starts off as a jerk, and then you begin to like him as the film goes on. And this one, in the first film, Veda was a lot more of a tomboy because she was younger, and she climbed trees, and she rode her bike and she did stuff like that. And this one, since she's a teenager, she's a lot girlier. I must say, like, she's going in from being a kid to an adult, to a grown woman, and you really do see that in her. She starts wearing a lot more colorful things, and she's wearing rings and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely must say, if you've seen the first one, then I definitely recommend this second one. Like I said, a lot of people say they prefer this one over the first. I mean, I can't say that, but this is definitely a great, a great sequel. It's a lot more positive than the original, and it's got a great, great story where you learn a lot more about Veda and a lot more about her mother. And I won't give away anything else about the film because there's some surprises in it that I don't want to give away. But like I said, if you've seen the original, I would highly, highly recommend you check out My Girl 2. And that was the DVD copy of it, and I'll show this off. Like, I have the original one in the old Columbia TriStar Family Collection VHS. I have the second one as well on VHS. This is my childhood copy. Like I said, it's the Columbia TriStar Family Collection that they released movies in these gold cases, which I really like. And they did a series of movies like this, and I've had the first one for years in it, and it's not in great condition. This one's in decent condition. And then also, just like the first film, I have the novelization of the first film. I also have the book novelization of the second film as well. So anyway, guys, I'm sure you guys can tell I'm a big fan of both films, and I do highly recommend, like I said, if you've seen the first one, to check out the second one. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed my review. I'll be doing more of these reviews, more of these type of summer, sort of family films throughout the rest of the summer, because there's a lot of good films that I don't think get talked about a lot of good family films that I'd like to talk about. And hope you guys are enjoying these new reviews. And of course, I will always go back and review like horror films and other type of genres. But since it's the summertime, you know, I don't normally get in the mood to watch a horror film because it's summertime and I want to watch, you know, fun films because, you know, summer is usually the time when I have the most fun. Except for October, of course. You know, once October gets here, it'll be nothing but horror films. And you know, once December gets here, that's my three favorite times of the year are summer, October, and December. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know what you think about the first film. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you guys next time.